I'd like to share a story with you today. I grew up in a very large family. There were 9 of us, and I was right in the middle. It was a great place to hide, or so I thought. Actually, there was no hiding in my family, because every night at the dinner table, my father used to ask all of his children the same question. He said, "Children, what did you do today to justify your existence?" I'm not kidding. He actually asked that question. And even though we knew it was coming, we used to fidget and squirm and try to think of the best possible response. Because we knew, even at a very young age, that that was a very important question. And we knew that he was teaching us that we were here for a purpose, and that we had better figure out what that purpose was, and that he was going to hold us accountable. No excuses. And the other thing I learned from an early age is I overheard people referring to my father as a great leader. So I associated leadership with purpose from an early age. And I became fascinated with this whole concept of leadership. Who had it and why? Were people born great leaders, or did they become great leaders? And how did you become a great leader? What did you need to know? And what kinds of life experiences got you to become a great leader? And most importantly, if you blew it, could you get a second chance at becoming a great leader? So this became my lifelong quest, creating and embracing that second chance at leadership. And I want to share with you what I learned along my journey, because I learned something very, very exciting. I learned that every one of us has the potential to be a great leader. It doesn't matter whether your title is mom or teacher or senator or scientist. We all have that potential. All it takes is the burning desire to release her from within. It starts from within. And we're going to learn to release our inner leader today. Now, I didn't learn all this on my own. I had a lot of teachers. You see, I used to look and observe leaders all around me, people of great accomplishment, people who I admired. I used to watch them. I used to write it all down, listen to their words. I was very fortunate. I had a career that took me all over the world. And I interviewed people in leadership positions, particularly women leaders, because I wanted to learn from them. How did they get into those positions? What could I learn so that I could develop my own leadership style? I used to ask them questions like, what was your greatest challenge or your greatest accomplishment? Who or what inspired you? What was the best advice you ever received? But I avoided that question about justifying your existence because I was certain that would end the conversation very quickly. For instance, I remember interviewing the chief science officer of a major global company, and she confided in me that she still struggled to find her voice despite all of her accomplishments. And yet when she spoke, people respected her contributions. I interviewed a Singapore businesswoman, a very successful woman, and she was revered by her colleagues simply because she remembered their birthdays. I learned so much from these interviews. I'll bet I interviewed hundreds of leaders all over the world from all walks of life. And patterns emerged from those conversations. I recall, when I think about it, that great leaders listened more than they spoke. They asked for feedback and they acted on it. They had a passion a vision, and they passionately pursued it. And they inspired others to join them in their pursuit. They were givers, and they looked for opportunities to serve. But the most important thing I learned is that we all have that potential to be a great leader. We just need to embrace that second chance. I know this because I took that second chance. And I found the leader that I was looking for my entire life, and I increased my impact beyond my wildest expectations. You see, before I embraced that second chance, I had had a very successful 30-year career in a corporate position. I raised 2 beautiful daughters. I had a very happy marriage, but something was missing, and something was missing. I just couldn't put my finger on it. I started to ask myself a lot of questions that I didn't have answers to. I couldn't get the big question out of my head, the one about justifying my existence. What was I doing to justify my existence? I had passed my 50th birthday, and frankly, I still didn't have a good response. I'm ashamed to say that. I did a lot of soul searching. I dug deep inside. I embraced that second chance. I tapped into my inner leader. I quit my corporate job. I launched Great Dames with my daughter, Heather, and we've been on the most remarkable journey ever since. I've not only been able to be a much more authentic leader, I've been able to share my experiences with hundreds of other women. I've helped them tap into their own power and potential in so many profound ways. I've helped them discover their own leadership capabilities. We do this at Great Dames by engaging women in meaningful mentoring relationships. We work with entrepreneurial women to help them enhance their business models. We work with women in inspirational speaker series, workshops, discussion circles. We essentially connect women to causes that they care about, and that helps them discover their power and potential. It's all about women helping women be more successful. That's what Great Dames do. That's what women do so well. And I was able to finally answer that elusive question. What am I doing to justify my existence? I became a Great Dame. We have the most remarkable women in our community. We have an experienced mentor in the Great Dames community who's helped so many mentees. And when she sits down with her current mentee, for example, she just listens because she knows her mentee has what it takes to solve her own problems. She's a sounding board. She asks good questions, but her mentee solves her own problems. We have an award-winning winemaker who opens her beautiful vineyard to area nonprofits just so they can raise money for their organization. We have a former prison inmate who has written several books about her experiences there. And now she's an entrepreneur and a motivational speaker who travels around the country. These women have tapped into their inner leader, they've embraced their second chance, and they are on fire. We can't stop them. They are Great Dames. Let's take our inspiration from them and let's discover our own inner leader together today. And we're going to do that by going through a simple 5-step process. And we're going to discover our inner leader, and I'm going to share with you my own journey. First, let's look at our strengths. Think about the things that you are really great at doing. Now, I know you're great at lots of things. This is no time to be shy. But think about the 1 or 2 that really resonate, that come to your mind immediately, things that you know that you're really great at doing. For me, I know that I'm great at inspiring and mobilizing people. But you think about the couple things that come to your mind immediately. Next, we're going to think about your loves, things that you absolutely love to do. things that bring you great joy, that you're passionate about, and they should be different from your strengths. Things that you're really passionate about that you love to do. In my case, I love to forge friendships, and I love to be a catalyst for positive change. The third step is I want you to picture your ideal world. Think about the world that you want to try to create or shape. Think about the people in that world. Think about the people in that world. Now think about your world as yourself, your family, your community, or your extended community. Don't try to take on the universe. For me, when I think about the perfect world, I think about women who believe in themselves, believe in their value, so they pursue their dreams relentlessly, and they're surrounded by other women who support them in that pursuit. That's kind of the world I was picturing when I went through this. And now, this is where it all comes together. You're going to build your leadership purpose statement. Let's complete this sentence. I choose to use my strengths and my loves to create my ideal world. Let's complete this sentence. I choose to use my strengths and my loves to create my ideal world. And when you create that sentence, it's going to be the single most powerful sentence you've ever created in your entire life. The single most powerful sentence you've created in your entire life. And only you will have the passion and conviction to actually make it happen. Now, in my case, the sentence I created was, I choose to use my abilities to inspire and mobilize others to create a movement uniting women in leadership, friendship, and service. This will create a community of women helping women to be successful. When I looked at what I wrote, it became so clear to me what I needed to do. For the first time in my life, it was clear to me what I needed to do. I had never received so much clarity in my entire life. That's the same level of clarity I want for you. Because the last part of the process is what impact? What is your impact? When you activate your leadership purpose, what is your impact? Who will you be impacting? What is your legacy? What is your mark on the world? Because when you activate that leadership purpose, you will be creating an impact beyond your wildest dreams. Think about the people you're impacting, the world that you're impacting. Think about that for a moment. In my case, we created a community of women who believe in their power to create change. That's what Great Dames is all about. Now, give yourself a gift and take the time to write all of this down. Write it down, because I promise you, just by writing it down, something powerful is going to change inside of you. Something will change. Write it down and something will begin to change inside of you. Next, I want you to share it. Share what you've written with somebody that you trust. Share what you've written with somebody you trust, 2 or 3 people, and I guarantee you they will never think about you the same way, and more importantly, you'll never think about yourself the same way, and you can't take it back. Keep this piece of paper close at hand. Keep what you've written close at hand. Look at it before you go to bed at night, first thing in the morning, and you know what will happen? This powerful statement, this leadership purpose is going to show up in everything you do, in how you describe yourself, your relationships, your work, your play, your volunteerism, everything. And you're going to say, there it is, there it is, there it is. That's my purpose. That's what I'm all about. I have been looking for this my entire life, and it's there. Finally, go for it. Do it. We need you. We need you to make this happen. The world needs you. because you're the only one that can make this happen. You're the only one with this leadership purpose. We need you to make this work. We need you to make this happen. Thank you for embracing your second chance. Thank you for discovering your inner leader. Now go out and make your mark on the world. Thank you very much.